happy weekend, everyone. It is Saturday, September 26th. And on the DaveCast here on Saturdays, we have an interview. And today I've got a great interview with Mr. Mike Harmon, who is chairman of the board of the Disciple House and got some great things to share with us. And so let's jump right into that. And then I'll have a few things to say about worship tomorrow at Conyers First.
All right. So excited this morning to have with us Mike Harmon, who is he and his lovely bride Jacqueline and intelligent and handsome son Matthew are all Conyers First people. But Mike is doing some great work as the chairman of the board for the Robert Moore Memorial Disciple House. Is that the correct way of saying it, or is it other things? Or
almost. Robert L. Moore Disciple House.
Okay, Robert L. Moore Disciple House. And so some people may not really know about Robert and his witness that he was at Conyers First. He was such a gift to us all, but tell us a little bit about Robert.
Well, Robert was a fellow who had a very exciting life, and as part of that spent a lot of time in and out of various jails and prisons for things, and had an opportunity to hook up with a couple more of our church members, Bucky and Vanessa Wright. And, they got to working on him and got his heart opened up to God, and God did the rest. And Robert became just such an incredible witness for Christ. And one of the things that was very important to him, because he had had a lot of experience coming into the community from being locked up, was that he wanted to try and provide transitional housing for men, and he called it a disciple house. Mm-hmm. And after he passed, a number of us got together and created a board to try and make that happen. One of the last things that he said was to Charlotte Kinsey is, please don't let Disciple House die. And Charlotte's been one of the driving forces in being sure that it didn't.
Yeah, Charlotte shared that with me the other day that, literally on his deathbed, he got cancer, unfortunately, and died, but he saw the need as people that have grown up with the social problems that sometimes come with poverty, but addiction and all of those things, and just really the readjusting into, if we really want to rehabilitate people, the need to be in a community like the Disciple House will be, right?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So what's kind of the model for the Disciple House?
Well, what we would like to do is be able to have men come out of the Rockdale County Jail and be with us for 6 months, 12 months, maybe 18 months, however long it takes for them to get stabilized. We don't have them on a program. It's their timetable and God's, not ours. And we want to be able to give them the support they need to get up and get going and really get their lives turned around, get rid of some of those bad choices that they had been making, and do some more positive things. Some of them having the opportunity for the first time in their life to live in community with other folks. We have one fellow that I got to know up at the jail, and he spent most of his time, he was probably in his 50s and been most of his life in jail or prison for one thing or another. When he wasn't there, he liked to live in Goodwill boxes. That was his habitat of choice, because it was usually warm and dry, and when he stole food, nobody would come looking for him there. You take somebody who's got a background like that and you say, okay, your time's up, and turn them out onto the street with no support. Mm-hmm. It's no wonder that they end up right back again. It's all he knows.
Right.
And we want to try and be able to break that cycle.
Right. Yeah. And I know you guys have worked with the system a bit. I know that you've got some of the law enforcement and people from the prison that are maybe even on your board, but that are working with you to make that a smooth transition to help that go as well. I mean, it's going to be I think a great thing.
Yes, that's right. Dennis Pass, Captain Pass, up at the jail, has been with us since the beginning. Dexter Kilgore, who is a deputy in the RCSO, was one of our board members. Another board member, Jackie Bishop, was a sergeant and retired from RCSO, worked at the jail for a bunch of years. So, yeah, we're absolutely blessed to have folks who know that side of the process as well.
Yeah. And I will say that it's also, a strong emphasis on discipling, hence the name for Disciple House and the
Right.
church's involvement with that. So tell me how that works.
Well, Robert and Robin Payne, back a number of years ago, had this all started with a vision that they both got on the same night. They both had the same dream, and got talking about, realized that this was more than just a dream. And one of the things that they did was to take the Alcohol Anonymous 12-step and revamp it so that it really had a Christ focus. And yeah, you're exactly right, Dave. We're called Disciple House for a reason. When we have men that are coming in to be with us, it's not necessary that they be Christian. We'll, be glad to have anybody who wants to come in and is willing to work and live that lifestyle, whatever they call themselves. But we do want everybody to know that we are a Christ-centered operation. That's who we are. That's what we do. That's why we do it. And if that's not a good match for somebody, then they should be aware of that up front.
Well, it's not the origins of Habitat for Humanity and some other great organizations like that. So y'all have had a board for a few years, sort of putting together what it's going to look like and trying to raise some initial funds and stuff. But there's been some movement here this year, even with the pandemic. There's been some good news. So tell us the good news.
Well, the good news is, finding a place that you can put a house like this is not an easy thing to do, and not to mention the fact that it's expensive and we don't have any money. But back in very early June, we were told there might be an opportunity that somebody would give us a house. And I that had absolutely no chance whatsoever of happening. And then I heard, well, not only did he want to do it, but he wanted to have it wrapped up within 30 days. And that worked out too. So we have a house. It's in pretty bad condition right now. It's a gentleman who has asked to remain unmentioned, but his mom lived there for many years, and she died in 2004, and the house has been vacant ever since then. And so it needs quite a bit of work. We're starting in on that process as well. Chuck Russell, who's a member of our church, is going to be meeting with us out there. We do have an architect on our board, Shane Prasad. So Chuck and Shane will be out there in a week or two looking over things, and we're excited.
Yeah. So and I know Shane through United Way, and so you've got some quality people on that board, I tell you. And so it had to pass zoning, and as you said, it's not always easy to do that. Everybody will agree there's a social problem, but no one really wants it in their neighborhood sometimes. And but I think that this is going to be one of these places that's actually going to enhance the value of the neighborhood and in our community. And so a big night down at the city council when it got passed. A lot of folks with their green t-shirts and just overwhelming support for this ministry, and I was glad to see that. And you did a lot of legwork to make that happen. I've been on a couple of church adventures on trying to get things past zoning boards, and for y'all to get that through was amazing. And kudos to you and all your team for doing that.
Well, thank you. There was, I wish I could say that it was unanimous support for us. It wasn't quite. We have a couple of city council members and a couple of our neighbors there that we have the opportunity to show them Jesus in maybe a way that they haven't seen before, and perhaps change their opinions.
Yeah, well, I think everybody agrees that's a good thing. It's just where it is. But I do think that it's going to end up being a benefit to everybody, to our community. As we think at Conyers about bringing the hope and healing of Christ to our community one life at a time. And also Mike was on the vision team that worked on that, and community transformation. This is just right in line with that, with making a difference in ways to get involved in folks' lives to help them change and transform and, have a story like Robert's. So how can people get involved? How can people donate? Tell us, all that contact information, and I'll make sure it's on the notes.
Sure. We are just in the process of getting our website up and going, and the address for that is RLMDH, Robert L. Moore Disciple House, rlmdh.org.
Okay.
And you can look there, and I think most of the buttons work now. The donate button doesn't work yet, but we'll get that taken care of through PayPal.
Yeah.
In the meantime, if anybody would like to make a donation, write us a check, make it out to Robert L. Moore Disciple House, and we'll figure out how to get it. We're not that far away.
So are y'all a 401(c) organization yet, or are you working on that, or where's that in the process?
So we've had that for a couple of years. We are a 501(c)(3), so it's a tax deductible.
Yeah, so great. Well, Mike, just blessings on you. I'm in total support of this, and I just can't wait to see as it goes forward, and that house becomes a place of restoration and wholeness and salvation for folks. So God bless you and all your work.
Well, thank you so very much. Thank you for your support. Thanks to the church for the support. If nothing else, we've been meeting in the church for 4 years. So the tremendous blessing that y'all are to this ministry as well. And we thank you so much. Thanks for the opportunity to be here this morning.
Absolutely. Well, just to let us know what we can do. Thanks. God bless you.
Thanks, Dave.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Mike Harmon, for all the great work of the Disciple House. We just look forward to that great ministry as it continues to grow. Tomorrow at Conyers First, we will again be offering inside worship at 11 o'clock. And so we will also be having our online worship service and our streaming on the phone worship service. And so whichever one works for you, I hope that you will join us tomorrow at 11. God bless you all and have a great weekend.